Well guys, I can't even believe it. I'm on this side today. What? I'm usually over here. What? Back. We're back. Focus. Number 138. Tentacle. Tentacle! Why yes, the French onion soup actually does happen to be my favorite. How did you know? Tentacle, anyone with a Fu Manchu mustache like Christopher Lee. So Tentacle's not that bad as far as battling goes, but he suffers from what we like to call the Zubat syndrome. And air quotes means it's official. While Zubat appears all the time in every cave you come across, Tentacle appears all the time in every body of water you come across. Literally every body of water. I don't care if it's the huge spot between Cinnabar Island and Seafoam Islands, or if it's a 3-pixel thing of water in between like the grassy knoll and another grassy knoll. It doesn't matter. Tentacle's gonna show up, you're gonna battle him, and you're gonna win easily because he's poison, and you'll probably have something that kills poison, because poison sucks. You know this already though, because you've been watching, so it makes sense. If you don't use Surf very often, then you probably won't run into Tentacle as much, but since Surf is the only HM that's actually useful in battle, well, you're probably gonna be using it. And also, jellyfish as real-life creatures suck. If you like jellyfish, you suck. I'm sorry to be harsh, but I got stung by one when I was 10. It's terrible. It's probably one of the worst things in the world. Right behind cankersaurs. If you're on a list with cankersaurs, then you're not going to be very high up. Unless the list is things I hate, then you'll be 1 and 2. But it's not. It's a list of Pokemon, and since there's no cankersaur Pokemon as far as I can tell, Tentacle is going to be pretty low. Moving right along with number 137, Pidgey.
Hey, why don't you tell me when you get a singing Christmas card, and then you'll be happy.
Pidgey, George Carlin. I mean, come on, the beard kind of looks like the plume of feathers on Pidgey's stomach there. Okay, maybe not. Enemy Pidgey used Gust. Get used to seeing that a lot. In the early going, whenever you encounter an enemy, it's almost always a Pidgey or a Rattata. And those Pidgeys usually only have Gust until they get the all-powerful Sand attack around level 3 or 5 or something like that. So you're going to be seeing Gust a lot. And the worst part is that Gust is a normal type in Red, Blue, and Yellow. It later became a flying type, which made it, at least kind of useful against grass types, bug types, other types that are weak against flying. But in the original game, it does like 2 damage. Presumably it's a normal type move to give you a chance if you started with Bulbasaur, because if Gust was a flying type move, it would kill you pretty easily if you chose Bulbasaur. So I guess thanks, Game Freak, for that. Granted, Pidgey is still much better than Farfetch'd, but in this little weak, unevolved form, he's not very good. And Ash uses him, and as we all learned last time, if a character in-game uses a Pokemon, you probably don't want to use it. It's science. Number 136, Rattata. Rattata! Nobody likes you. I guess Rattata is Gollum. I don't watch Lord of the Rings. That might have been a bad impression. I don't know. Rattata is Scott Farkas from A Christmas Story. I guess it's only fitting that after mentioning one of the crappy pokes from the early part of the game, that the other crappy one that shows up all the time gets mentioned right next to it. Rattata's much better than Pidgey though for a pair of reasons. Hyper Fang and Super Fang. These 2 attacks, Super Fang especially, can do some really good damage, even with Rattata's little weak unevolved form. But if you've ever had your house infested by rats, you know that they're really not that strong defensively. A couple good hits will take them out. Just like Rattata. Rattata. Number 135, Venonat. Venonat! Captain Crunch is my favorite kind of cereal! Venonat, Christopher Walken. Venonat's not the absolute worst, which is why he's 16 spots above the absolute worst. And it gets coolness points for being cuddly and a possible replacement for a Swiffer, but it's still a poison type, and poison is just abysmal in Red, Blue, and Yellow. In fact, it's still abysmal in the 5th generation, but back then it was really bad, and now it's just very bad. In any case, Venonat is also part bug, so it's basically the 2 worst types in the game. And when you're the 2 worst types, it doesn't matter how good you are at posing as a cotton swab, you're not climbing very high in the rankings. Hey guys, thanks for watching another crazy episode of Ranking the Pokemon. This is probably the least crazy of all of them, actually. We're plowing through, we're getting there. Soon, you'll have number 1 unveiled. And by soon, it's probably like 3.5 months. But Alright, thanks for sticking along for the ride. Thank you for continuing to watch and comment and like and support. Of course, you can always leave sentences you want the Pokemon to say in the comments below, and I will try to remember to give you a shout out for that. Shout out's always good, right? I wish I had a tighter way of wrapping this up, but I didn't. So I'm in the middle here. That means there's gonna be 2 videos on either side, and I hope I'm not touching them right now. You know, in real life, there's not videos on this side. There's just, you know, crazy things. Oh, I hope you see that, because I just tore my back on that. Thanks again for watching, and have a terrific day. Salute!